Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be trying acrylic paints from Ohuhu. They sent their beginner set, which is great because I am a beginner at acrylics, and this set includes almost all the art supplies you might need while starting with acrylics, like paintbrushes in different sizes, canvas panels. This set includes 3 10 into 8 inches panels, and I can't wait to use them. A booklet about how to use acrylics would really come in handy to know the basics, plus a mixing palette, which is so cute, and a sponge for however you'd like to use it. Besides all these, you need just a jar of water, so let's get started. I'm sketching with my polychromos because graphite can end up getting smudged on canvas with paint and water, and you can just use any pencil colors that you have instead of polychromos, because I do know that they're on the expensive side and recommend them if you are working with pencil colors professionally. But if you're a beginner, just go with any pencil colors you find, any student grade pencil colors really. I really like the texture of this canvas. It is not as coarse as the regular cotton canvases, and I like that about this because I prefer to paint on a smoother surface rather than too textured surface. So this canvas was definitely an upgrade from those really thickly textured cotton canvases. The reference I chose for this painting has a very wintry feeling to it because of all the blue shadows and all the other cooler tones, and so to capture that feeling, I tried to keep the colors just as cold and blue as possible. To start the painting, I started with blue underpainting, so it makes all the shades slightly more bluer to add that wintry feeling even more. This layer is very watered down, so I'm still able to look at the sketch underneath it. If you are not aware with what an underpainting is and why it is used, then here's a brief explanation. It's very simple. You can use any thinned down color and place it as a base layer for the whole painting to either make the final result look a certain way. For example, I'm using a blue underpainting here to make the outcome look more colder and winter-like. In the same way, you can use a warm yellow or orange to make the painting look more like a sunny day. Sometimes an underpainting can also peek through the rest of the painting to add a unique effect. And other times, you can just paint a thin layer on the canvas just to get started with the painting. Many people use underpainting in different ways. It doesn't have to be for the same reasons that I or any other artist uses it for. If you would like to have a pink canvas instead of white, just paint it pink. Make it coquette. Do as you please with your art, and I believe an underpainting is a great way of taking control of your art. Of course, this method is mostly used with opaque mediums like gouache, acrylics, and oils, but you can also use it with watercolors as well as alcohol markers if you feel like it. But just make sure the layer of paint complements your painting by the end, because watercolors are transparent. I hope this little explanation was able to help you with your doubts about what your underpainting is and how you can use it. The beginning of this painting was so abrupt. In the beginning, it's hard to point out a direction in which the painting might be going. I know how afraid most of us are of an empty canvas, and I'm too. So just to defeat that fear, I tend to start painting without too many thoughts, because if I go into overthinking the process, I might never actually start to work on it, and the canvas stays empty throughout its life. So it's just important to start somewhere and then just figure out the process as you go. In this painting, I kept the palette full with just 3 main colors: purple, orange and green. These 3 are secondary colors, and I didn't even realize this until I was jotting down notes for this video's voiceover. At the time I was painting, I guess I just went with what I felt fit at the moment for the painting. To add to the beautiful color palette of the painting, I used a vibrant and bright red, and it was just the perfect addition to the other colors. There's a lot of shadows casted on the face of the model by the plants near her, and those shadows are the highlight of this painting because of how randomly they are placed and how beautiful those shadows look in context with the whole vibe of the painting. With the very dark shadows, I added some light skin tones, making it look like winter sunlight. I hope you are able to spot this detail as well here. Initially, for the hair, I did not use absolute black, and instead of black, I went for a mix of burnt umber with ultramarine blue, because the perfect black would have been overwhelming if placed on the whole area, so I just kept the black for the darkest shadows on the hair. and the rest of the hair is a slightly lighter version of it. Just these very small differences in colors and values make a lot of difference in the final outcome of the painting. And so I suggest do not be lazy when it comes to mixing your colors, even though the difference is almost negligible in both the shades. The paint brushes sent to me in the set initially felt really good to use, but after some time of using them in this painting itself, the bristles just came off in one of the brush, which I was quite disappointed about because I don't know what went wrong. Maybe just the batch of brush that I was using was defective or something. Not sure, but this happened with just one filbert brush, and the rest of the brushes held up pretty well till the end, and are just fine to use if you're a beginner and learning acrylics. However, apart from the brush issue, I didn't face any other problem with the whole set, and the acrylics worked pretty well for their price. And I just loved the canvas and the mixing palette. Both of these are really useful, and also the fact that this comes with a sponge, which I forgot about until the later part in the process. I used it to dry my brushes and removing extra water from them. And you can use it for even blending acrylics on the canvas. It really is up to you how you would like to use that sponge, but it is quite useful and a great addition to the set. I think that this is such a cute little set to gift your artsy beloved ones, and it comes with everything and is so good if we look at it from the price point of view. The total cost of this set is just 1600 rupees, which is around $20, so I think it's just a perfect set for beginners, and it's also non-toxic and safe. The pigments are vivid and beautiful, and we get a very large amount of paint for the price we pay. While as an artist, I do wish it had better color choices like warm yellow instead of off-white, because the off-white is pretty useless. But if you're a beginner, then this is just the perfect set. You might need to start learning the acrylic paints and how they work. I really want to nail down how to paint pearls, but it just seems so tricky and I am not able to do it. Even in this painting, they just look like a blob of light colors. I really wish I had done better, so I guess I will try to practice painting pearls more as they look so elegant and beautiful. I had major trust issues throughout this painting because looking at the darker shadows, they just looked way too dark for a portrait painting of a light-skinned person. And so at some point I tried to lighten those areas as well, just so it can look more lighter, and I don't know if it worked, and I am still confused if I like this painting or not. But it is growing on me a little bit as the time is passing. Hopefully I am able to like this painting more and more in the future. I used different techniques in this painting with acrylics. Instead of painting them only opaque, I also use them by thinning down. This method is called glazing and works really well with oils, acrylics, as well as watercolors. To try this technique, you just have to thin down your paint with water, or in case of oils, using your medium, and add that layer of paint on the areas you want. This way you can shift the colors or tones slightly towards the direction you want your final painting to be in. And it is such a useful trick in case you are too lazy like me to mix a whole batch of colors again. I love the fact that acrylics is one of the most forgiving medium, and you can easily fix your mistake by covering it up with paint or just picking the color wrongly placed back up while it's still wet with a cloth or tissue or a clean damp brush. With acrylics, there is no mistake you cannot fix, and there's always scope to keep working on a painting if you are not satisfied with it. I hope you enjoyed the painting process and my mini review of the Ohuhu Beginners Acrylic Set. I would love to know your thoughts on this painting in the comment section. See you next time. Bye.